23 years old, homeless, sleeping in a 1997 Honda Civic, bank account, $0, no family, no degree, no backup plan. 7 years later, $120 million, real estate portfolio, 247 properties across 6 states. This is Jake's story. And the first property he bought, he didn't even have money to buy it. Stay with me. This changes everything about building wealth. His name is Jake. Today, at 30, he owns $120 million in real estate. But at 23, he was living in his car. Let me paint the picture. November 2016, Chicago winter coming. Jake's sleeping in a Honda Civic in a Walmart parking lot. Why? His family kicked him out at 19. Bad decisions, addiction problems, burned every bridge. He spent ages 19 to 23 bouncing between couches, shelters, and his car. Worked random jobs, McDonald's, Walmart, Uber, when he could afford gas. At 23, Jake had $0 in savings. Actually worse. He had $2,400 in payday loan debt. His daily budget was $8. That's breakfast, lunch, dinner, and gas combined. One night, sleeping in that Walmart parking lot, he saw something that changed his life. A guy pulled up in a Tesla, young guy, maybe 28, parked near Jake's car. Jake watched him walk into Walmart, confident, well-dressed, successful. Something clicked in Jake's head. That guy isn't special. He's not a genius. He just figured something out that I haven't yet. Jake Googled on his phone, how do rich people make money? He found 3 answers. Business ownership, stocks, real estate. Business needed capital. Stocks needed money, but real estate. He found something called wholesaling. Real estate wholesaling meant finding deals and flipping contracts to investors. No money needed, just hustle. Jake spent the next 72 hours living in libraries, reading everything about wholesaling, YouTube videos, forums, free courses. On day 4, he made his first move. Jake had no money, but he had time and desperation. He printed 500 flyers at the library. We buy houses, cash, any condition. He posted them on telephone poles around distressed neighborhoods, areas with old houses, foreclosure signs, overgrown lawns. First week, 3 phone calls, all dead ends. Second week, 7 calls, 1 potential, an old woman, 76 years old. Her house was falling apart. She couldn't afford repairs. Property taxes piling up. She wanted out. Jake visited the house. It was bad, roof leaking, foundation cracked, but the location was gold. The woman wanted $35,000. Market value after repairs, $95,000. Jake had an idea. He told her, I'll buy it for $35,000 cash in 30 days. She said yes. They signed a purchase agreement. But Jake didn't have $35,000. He had $0. Here's what he did. Genius move. He immediately contacted every real estate investor in Chicago on Facebook, Craigslist, everywhere. I have a property under contract. $35,000 purchase price. After repair, value $95,000. I'll assign the contract to you for $8,000. Translation: an investor buys it from the old woman for $35,000. Pays Jake $8,000 for finding the deal. 5 investors said no. Too risky, too much work. Investor number 6 said yes. 30 days later, the deal closed. The investor paid $35,000 to the old woman, paid $8,000 to Jake. Jake's profit, $8,000. His first $8,000 ever, and he started with $0. Jake cried in his car that night. Not because of the money, because he'd proven something. He wasn't stuck. He wasn't worthless. He just needed knowledge. That $8,000 changed everything. Jake moved into a cheap apartment, $600 monthly rent. First time with a roof over his head in years. But he didn't spend the rest. He reinvested. He used $2,000 to print 10,000 flyers. hired a kid to distribute them for $500. He used $1,500 to run Facebook ads targeting distressed homeowners. Month 2, 3 wholesale deals. $24,000 profit. Month 3, 5 deals. $38,000 profit. By month 6, Jake had wholesaled 22 properties. Total profit, $156,000. At 24, 1 year after being homeless, Jake had more money than he'd ever imagined. But he saw something bigger. Every investor he wholesaled to was making $30,000, $60,000 per flip. Jake was making $8,000 per deal, and they were making $50,000. He thought, why don't I flip the properties myself? He took his $156,000, bought his first flip property for $48,000, spent $32,000 on renovations, sold it for $135,000, profit, $55,000 on one deal. That's when Jake realized the real game. Age 24 to 25, Jake flipped 14 houses. Average profit, $48,000 per flip. Total, $672,000. But flipping was work, hard labor, project management, stressful. Jake discovered the next level, rental properties. Instead of flipping and selling, what if he kept the properties and rented them? He used his flip profits to buy rental properties. Houses that cash flowed $800, $1,200 monthly after expenses. Age 25, bought 8 rental properties. Monthly cash flow, $7,200. Age 26, bought 23 more rentals. Monthly cash flow, $34,000. At 26, 3 years after being homeless, Jake was making $34,000 monthly passive income from rentals. But he didn't stop there. Age 27, Jake discovered commercial real estate. Small apartment buildings, 10 to 20 units. Way more cash flow than single-family homes. He bought his first 12-unit apartment building for $890,000. Put $180,000 down, financed the rest. Cash flow, $8,400 monthly from one building. That's when Jake went all in on commercial. Age 27 to 28, bought 6 apartment buildings, 89 total units. Age 28 to 29, bought 11 more buildings, 156 units. Age 29 to 30, bought 8 large commercial properties including a small shopping center. At 30, 7 years after sleeping in his car, Jake's portfolio, 247 properties, 89 single-family rentals, 158 apartment units, 3 commercial buildings, total value, $120 million. Monthly cash flow, $287,000. Net worth after debt, $34 million. From homeless with $0 to $120 million portfolio in 7 years. Jake's journey teaches us everything about building real wealth. Lesson 1. You don't need money to start real estate. Jake started with $0. Wholesaling requires 0 capital. Just knowledge and hustle. Most people think, I can't invest in real estate, I'm broke. Jake proved that's a lie. Lesson 2. The first win changes everything. Jake's first $8,000 wasn't just money, it was proof. Proof he could do it. Proof he wasn't stuck. Your first win will change your psychology forever. Lesson 3. Reinvest profits, don't spend them. Jake could have blown his first $156,000. New car, designer clothes, flexing. Instead, he bought his first flip, then rentals, then commercial properties. That's the difference between looking rich and being rich. Lesson 4. Graduation strategy. Jake didn't jump from homeless to commercial real estate. He graduated. Step 1. Wholesaling, no money needed. Step 2. Flipping, small capital needed. Step 3. Rentals, passive income. Step 4. Commercial, massive scale. Each step funded the next step. Lesson 5. Cash flow is king. Jake's $120 million portfolio generates $287,000 monthly, $3.4 million annually. He doesn't need to sell anything. The properties pay him every month. That's true wealth, not net worth, cash flow. Lesson 6. Your past doesn't determine your future. Jake was homeless, addicted, broke, no family support, no degree. Society said he was worthless. He proved them wrong. Right now, someone watching this is broke. Maybe homeless, maybe in their car. You think it's over. You think you're too far behind, too broken, too late. Jake was 23, homeless, sleeping in a Honda Civic, $0 in his account. Family gave up on him. 7 years later, $120 million portfolio, $287,000 monthly cash flow, financial freedom. What's your excuse? No money. Jake started with $0. No experience. Jake learned from YouTube and libraries. No support. Jake's family abandoned him. Too old. Jake started at 23, but the strategy works at 30, 40, 50. The question isn't, can you do it? The question is, will you start? Jake's first wholesale deal took 2 weeks to find. Made him $8,000. That $8,000 became $120 million. What could your first deal become? Like if you're starting with nothing and building everything. Subscribe for weekly real estate wealth strategies that actually work. Comment your age and current situation. Let's track your journey from $0. Share with someone who thinks they're too broke to start. From homeless at 23 to $120 million at 30. Your transformation starts when you stop making excuses and start taking action. Let's go.